Hey, this is Ross Bain, Rolling Public Radio. This is RPPR, episode 130, the pre-Gen Con 2016 show.
Your enthusiasm is incredible. I felt that. I felt it in here.
And with me is Tom, and
Hello.
also Caleb and Sean.
Yay. Hi.
Yay! This episode might be a little shorter because this is just about, hey, we're going to be at Gen Con, here's what we're going to be doing. So if you're going to Gen Con, you should really listen to all this stuff. And if you're not going to Gen Con, this is a preview of the stuff, the panels we'll be recording, so that you can know what to expect
and
when
gaze
we get back.
upon us.
Well, we'll be posting them to the podcast after. That's what we do, Tom.
Yes.
Anyways, first off, news.
But also, dig us.
Vote for Roleplaying Public Radio as best podcast in the 2016 Annie Awards. We'll have a big link in the show notes. The voting goes on till the 21st, July 21st, until 11 p.m. Central Time. So you have hopefully a couple more days by the time you listen to this to vote, cast your vote. Vote
Also
for
vote for Firewall and Judge's Spotlight because Ross
yes.
and I are in that.
Yes, and also vote for Delta Green for what it's nominated in Best Supplement, Best Writing, and Best Free Game. So
We're not trying to influence your vote or anything, but definitely
it's a really good day.
Yeah, definitely do that.
Vote for Firewall. Vote for Delta Green, and there's
Vote for RPPR.
yeah.
Because, like any award-winning podcast is great, but multi-Emmy award-winning is even.
Actually, we were, because there was that other RPG award that we won that I can't think of right now.
Wow.
Then it must really not we won an award.
It was a couple of years ago, and my memory.
It's like what's it for?
Yeah.
Well, but if you get two innies, you an innie. And ninnies are.
All right, I'll take
it's
that.
like EGOTing and.
Yes.
It's like Pokemon, Russ. You get 2 awards, you evolve to the next one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
They're like the candies in Pokemon.
I think Ken Hite's like a ninny.
Yeah. They started, everyone was talking about how Ken and Robin talk about stuff for a shoe-in, but we didn't even compete by the time they got in there. I have not submitted RPPR. I just felt like this year it was a leap year, so that's the rule.
Okay, well,
every leap year, RPPR will submit.
So, if that's the case, then what the hell is Paizo by now?
Paizo, they are in other categories, and there are actually categories they aren't even nominated in, so non-Paizo things can win this year. Maybe.
Wow.
Theoretically possible.
Yeah.
So Paizo's the Joe Bother.
Like a Bernie Sanders president.
Yeah, that's basically, Paizo being nominated is kind of like Titanic being nominated for one of the Academy Awards. It's going to win it.
So first off, we should mention the list of events, the official Role-Playing Public Radio events that we're going to be doing, and one non-official event, but one we'll be at, most likely. The first off on Thursday, 11 a.m. at the Crown Plaza. All of these events are, by the way, at the Crown Plaza, which is that hotel with the creepy white statues. And they
were clearly victims of something.
It's amazing.
Train. If there's a train on the second floor,
There's a train, yeah. And again, creepy white statues in the lobby, just everywhere.
Which is strange, because those lines have been abandoned for 50 years.
So Crown Plaza, 11 a.m. Thursday, Grand Central Ballroom D is our Game Designers Workshop Live episode. So we're going to be talking about Game Designer Workshop stuff.
Yes, you'll get an update on how Red Markets is going
Yes.
if you back that. And
Just follow the scent of the
what's
food
next?
trucks.
Yeah.
And
one thing, I do have a card game that I'm planning to playtest a little bit at Gen Con, so
yeah,
Steel Dracula's Gold, so maybe talk about that a little bit. I need to finish printing all the cards, but no big deal. So that's the only official event we're going to be doing on Thursday. There will be other things we'll be doing, obviously, but that we're kind of, this year, I know Caleb and I are trying to keep our schedules more open so we can try more things, more unofficial.
So what, you're not going to run 6 games this time?
I'm not going to run 6 games. That was.
I remember you.
I'm glad I did it, but I'm like.
Well, I remember you on the way back.
Yeah.
You weren't all there.
Yeah, no, 24 hours of running role-playing games, yelling, and it was.
Yeah, it's brutal.
It is. It is.
Yeah,
there's a reason why you get.
I start losing my voice after the second game.
Yeah, when we stopped for dinner in Rolla, you were kind of, all right, that's good.
So
that's also sadness.
Yeah.
Crushing ennui.
Oh my God, are we still
Closing
going on?
the throat.
Are we still going on about
Forever and always. Fuck you
the
for doing that
steakhouse was
for
that
me.
bad.
It was terrible.
It was. It is.
Okay, well, is Buffalo Wild Wings better?
At least it's a chain.
Yeah.
I guess that makes it better.
Well,
anyways, We have discussed, basically, Caleb, the cultural whiplash from talking to game designers
the night before,
about high art and culture, and things
in a great Indian place,
in a great restaurant, to Colton's in Rolla, Missouri, was
the Cowboy Theme Steakhouse.
It was what, 2014, I think.
I like my women like my planks, flat and easy to nail. Fucking kill me with a steak knife.
So that was a fun year.
He wasn't happy.
But anyways, let's move on to Friday. So Friday, Red Markets. We have a panel on Red Markets at 9 a.m. at the Pennsylvania Station C meeting room. This is obviously going to be talking about Red Markets. It's officially playing Red Markets. That's the title of it.
So this is your GM panel. Ross will be there. Laura will be sitting in from the Technical Difficulties podcast. She's also the editor.
So like 95% of all Red Markets game masters in the history of our species.
Yes, exactly. So if you want tips and tricks and ideas, it's sort of the open Q&A panel. We probably won't talk a whole lot. It'll
hopefully, bring questions.
Primarily Q&A for those
rules
of you.
Questions too. Try and stump the man who literally wrote the game.
It won't be hard. So if you've been reading the preview draft or followed the beta playtest and stuff like that, come by and Q&A stuff.
Then at 11 a.m., I will have a panel at Victoria Station AB, again, Crown Plaza Hotel, and this is Patreon for creators. This is going to be me, Matt from The Drunken Ugly, and Faust from the Thrilling Intent, and of course our podcast as well, because they have their own Patreon. And so we're going to be talking about Patreon, what works and what doesn't, what I've learned, and obviously if you have questions about it, please bring them. Because, Patreon's awesome. I am a big fan of it, weirdly enough. And then in the evening, we have two events going on, kind of simultaneous. One is the RPPR panel / meetup at 7 p.m. at the Crown Plaza Grand Central Ballroom D, same place where
it's an official event this year.
It is an official event. 2 hours we have the room booked for, and that's where all the RPPR people will be there. Because a lot of us are going. We're taking a caravan. There's going to be, not just
It's
me.
a motorcade.
Yeah. Me, Tom, Sean for the first time.
Yeah.
So
we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, sure.
And a bunch of other people. So anybody.
It was insanely.
Aaron, of course.
It was insanely big the last time.
Yeah. So now that we have an actual room, we'll
the Hyatt bar did not mind.
No,
because it was all was there. We all ordered drinks.
Yes. And then, but also at the same time, across the street at the Union Grand Station. Is the Innies Award, and that goes from 5:30 to 10 p.m. So I think what we'll do is we'll have a scout stationed to let us know when the podcast award is, and then I will run across the street and be like, RPPR, Vaporwave, and then I'll run back or something like that.
I will be late.
Yes.
Because God will not allow an RPPR meetup to take place without scheduling 18 other things during it.
Well, yes, because you have other obligations.
I will be there.
Yes, I need to.
I'll be there for sure. In fact, I'll probably be the guy to be there early and
kick
things off.
We have a big break in between that too, and then Saturday at 2 p.m. there is a panel on neo-Lovecraftian horror at the Crown Plaza, Pennsylvania Station A. This is a Drunken Ugly panel. Matt and Travis from the Drunken Ugly set it up, but Travis, one of the co-hosts of the Drunken Ugly, may not be able to make Gen Con at all, so we're going to step in and talk about neo-Lovecraftian horror, which is modern day stuff. Everything
I don't know.
from Hellboy to Delta Green.
Ross, do you think we're qualified to talk about Lovecraft?
No, but we'll fake it. So because we can't know anything. Because we can't comprehend anything. It's incomprehensible.
Our tiny meaty brains
exactly.
Won't do it.
It's beyond time and space and whatnot. So those are all the official events we're doing. That's it. However, we'll be using the GroupMe app, which I'll have a link to in the show notes, on two threads, one in general chat, and then a announcement thread that will hopefully only be used for announcements.
Yes, stay off the announcement thread with "We're at Noodles and Company."
Unless you're doing a game
at Noodles and Company.
Yeah.
And
I plan to do several impromptu games.
Yes, so Tom will announce that on the announcement thread.
Yes.
So be aware of that. It's a social media app. You need a smartphone to use it. Actually, you could use a laptop, but that's kind of weird to having that drag around. So
I like carrying extra weight.
Yeah. So just have your announcement. Keep checking that, and so we'll be announcing whenever people have time and space that hey, I'm running this at the Open Game Room at the JW Marriott, or I'm going to be doing this over here.
I got 6 spaces.
So what kind of games are you going to be running, Tom?
couple of I'm going to be doing that time travel scenario again.
Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, the Operation Downslope.
Which we have not posted yet, but it's World War II Call of Cthulhu. Sean, do you think you're going to be running anything?
I don't know. I may bring a couple books. I might
Okay.
try.
You could run Monster of the Week. I
was going to bring those definitely.
Yeah. For shits and grins, I might actually run the now modified Divine Fire.
There you go. So, but then, and one thing we will definitely be using the GroupMe thread to announce is Jeff Barber, designer of Blue Planet, and more recently Upwind, which we have playtested on Role Playing Public Radio, recently will be coming to Gen Con, and I'm really excited about that. Because he's going to be demoing the latest version of Upwind. Upwind will be kickstarted this fall, and so it's a pretty final version of the rules that he has ready. So he'll be doing demos. So if you want, this is again the story. This is the role-playing game where entire encounters are resolved with one play of the cards. He uses every player has a deck of common playing cards instead of dice. So you can get through a lot more story than you could through with a normal role-playing game. Like I was looking, you could do Massive Nyarlathotep, that length of campaign in like 2 or like 5 or 6 sessions, like easily. And then he has an original story setting for it that is very high fantasy with like sky ships, floating islands, a bit Miyazaki and a bit
Yeah, it was a Miyazaki, some Last Exile, a bunch of other influences there, but I think Castle in the Sky was one of his big influences for that. But really cool setting. I haven't had a chance to read. I've read like the excerpts and such, and really detailed.
We were looking at it in March. That was still being worked on.
I might be convinced to do something with Mutazoids.
Well, obviously our Mutazoid game will
that's
special.
Oh, that's going to be but no, this isn't going to be a game. I'm more thinking everyone's there can make Mutazoids, and then we'll have like that
could be part of the
a dating show.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
All of our different bachelors are looking for the bachelorette, but she's a human, and you have to convince her. Like,
what are they called? Pure strain or acceptable?
Acceptable.
No, acceptables are only mildly mutated.
So that's like their Tinder. Is it acceptable or not? Swipe right.
Swipe left for acceptable.
Wow. I was thinking like when you described it, I was thinking like the dating game where it's like.
Yeah.
3 guys on the other side of a blind,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something. Yeah, we'll work out the details.
And the girl on the other side doesn't think vaccines work.
Yeah,
that's how it works, right?
It's
been a while since I watched it.
It's like Bachelor number 1. How many mouths do you have?
Yeah, and where are they located? And does one always tell the truth and one always lie, or do they both just say the same thing? Is it like creepy chorus unison, or is it
It's like. These mouths can be anywhere you want.
Oh, very forward. So we have a lot planned. We're gonna leave some space to maneuver around because I know I'll have meetings with publishers and blah 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 and other podcasters and whatnot, and so we gotta be a little flexible for that. There are other people I know, like Aaron's gonna be trying True Dungeon for the first time, so. I know our post-Gen Con show will have a big write-up of that, or talk, because I want to hear about what True Dungeon is like. I just don't have the time to be like, I need to schedule 4 hours for this, for over here at this time at the so
it's also getting insane.
Yeah,
like in terms of numbers and
they're over at
they're
off at the new Lucas Oil Stadium extension. Like this is the first year it's like extending all the way to the football stadium nearby. So Sean, you've had noticed like
I mean honestly, what I'm looking forward to is wandering like a lost child for hours on end, and
all right,
just being crushed with.
You'll have guides.
I don't know, just that I've never been to a major con before.
Sure.
The most I've been to is the local Vision Con, so
which is nothing.
And that was a long time.
Though oddly, there's usually more drunk people at Vision Con.
Well, yeah, because
that's what everyone does.
Let's not talk about that.
Anyway, we're not. I'm just saying that's the.
So Gen Con. Let's talk about survival tips
because I myself have some anxiety over it, and there's obviously going to be other first timers.
It's it's a massive event. You're spending money and time.
Essentially, a small city is going to descend on this place.
Why don't we could give Sean some tips and advice. Obviously, the basics would be 1, make sure you have very comfortable walking shoes because you're going to be doing a lot of walking,
which is good.
It's good. Play a lot of Pokemon Go before our time, so you're used to.
And then stop. And then stop and get the hell out of the way.
I'm already predicting what 65,000 people playing Pokemon Go is going to be.
The rolly backpacks are going to be bad enough. If you're all stopping to capture Clefairies or whatever, we're going to get log jammed in the dealer room, and it will be like a soccer riot. Yeah.
I kind of predict at least one bad accident involving cosplay of somebody tripping over somebody else and breaking their toy sword or
especially
something.
those some Dalek, tripping over a wall.
So yes, there will be much walking, and do your best to enable other people to walk.
Yeah, so do not bring rolling suitcase luggage.
No.
Do not have a roll. If you have a rolling backpack, put it on your back.
It's kind of like how you should behave in a shopping mall. Anyways, don't clog
or
the aisle.
Yeah, any public place. Don't clog. Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Don't clog the aisle. You probably should, on average, keep to the side and then keep moving. Don't just block one spot.
If you want to stop at a dealer booth, go into their booth section or as much as you can to browse their goods rather than
standing in the aisles.
Yeah.
Some dealer booths are obviously set up to where you can't do that.
Deodorant.
If you're cosplayed and someone wants a picture, that does not entitle you to shut down an intersection.
Yeah.
So don't be angry when someone walks through the picture because you stopped traffic. In a room with hundreds
there
of
will be
thousands of
spaces
people.
for cosplay.
Yes, and do it there, and that's great. But you can't have an impromptu show to show.
Not in the exhibit hall.
Also,
in the exhibit
People
hall.
are trying to sell stuff. People are trying to buy stuff.
Deodorant is your friend.
Always.
Probably.
Deodorant and bathing.
You could bring
brushing
one of
the
those
teeth
small
and all.
travel size things of deodorant and reapply it several times
Because
through the day.
it's still gonna be August.
Depending on how far away your hotel is, whore baths are great. Like, if you walk all the way across town and you're drenched, maybe have a spare change of underwear or something. Go into a stall and
Or get moisture.
Lysol your pits with a wipe, and then change, and you'll be a lot better because it's pretty cool in the hall.
Yeah, it's air conditioned.
Yeah, and honestly, you can traverse a lot of the con indoors and skywalks.
Yeah, but like it was 65,000 last year.
Yeah.
And it's never not grown. So at this point, people.
Well, in the last 7 years. So.
Yeah, but at this point, people are going to be coming from way out. Like, not everybody got a con, got a room on the skywalk path. You know what I mean?
We were lucky.
Well, we had literally a dozen people rolling the room lotto, essentially.
Yeah, we were organized this year. So
I think Aaron got lucky.
Yeah.
Well, you roll the dice sometimes. That works.
Good job, Aaron.
So another thing is have a general idea of what you want to do. Like you don't have to plan your schedule out to the minute, but like maybe plan out like this day I kind of want to focus on this, and this day I want to focus on this.
Yeah.
So like look at the event catalog and see what's available.
So I've kind of done that. There's a few things I kind of want to do, but I didn't want to lock in exactly. My big plan was just to get a bunch of generics and then say today I want to
Generic tickets.
Yeah. And then just today I'm going to try to be in so many games. Today I'm going to just spend the entire afternoon going around.
Now because we have the role playing the RPPR group meet threads, we can organize a lot of this on our own.
Yeah,
so be like, hey, I have this board game. Who wants to play? And
or people or some of us that are running official games will often say, hey, a couple people didn't show up. I got 2 free spaces.
Yeah, exactly. We will be having some people running games for various publishers. Again, that's another. I mean, by now you're probably too late, but keep in mind if you go to Gen Con and you want to, and you're putting you kind of in the red, you can always earn some money or at least product from publishers by running games for them because they're always appreciated. It's a great form of marketing for them. You can have fun running. I do have fun running games. It's just. It's exhausting, at times, especially if you run too many.
I figured since it's my first time, I just pony up for the actual badge and wander around to get a good feel for it, and then later on,
Yeah. I know you mentioned you wanted to try some of the more BattleTech pods, which are there this year. So
definitely want to.
Aaron's talked about this in previous years.
Aaron's done it before.
Yeah. If you go, I'll probably, if I have a chance, I might try and join you because it looks fun. Some of the highlights are aside from the exhibit hall, which is massive, and you could spend an entire day there.
It's like several airplane hangars together.
Yeah,
fun.
It's very good. There's also Artist Alley and Writers Alley.
I love Artist Alley,
where you can meet artists who are just selling their work. You can commission artwork for them with varying results.
Ask Aaron about that.
Yeah. We've talked about it on the podcast before, and we don't need to go into detail, but you can meet new artists, new writers, and talk to them, get books signed. But there's also demo areas, especially the larger publishers will have areas where you can walk in and be like, I want to try this new game. There are open gaming areas where you can just wander around. There are obviously lots of seminars and workshops. of all types, not just the ones we mentioned, but basically any subject you want, from crafts to writing to game design to any kind of game you want.
The dealer room often have people like letting you play their game.
Yeah, they'll have demos in the dealer room too.
Yeah,
cool.
But those are going to be usually pretty short. Like sometimes they're an hour. Like I played Hackmaster for like an hour in the dealer room, at the Kinzer Company booth, and it was fun. But like I was like, oh shit, I cannot. I need to do other things now.
I also say research your food options and kind of know where things are.
Food is kind of one of the things for me. Like it's just fuel. Like there is good food there will be good food, but like it's that time thing of waiting in line.
Yeah, I've never had time to eat it.
Yeah, just get it waiting in line.
Even if you're eating at like 3 in the afternoon, like a non-eating time, you can still expect an hour-long wait at any kind
depending
of
where you go.
At any kind of sit-down restaurant.
I just kind of figured
even at the food truck, sometimes there could be an hour-long wait because they have food trucks set up near the convention center.
But the great bet is the food court at the mall.
If you want to go that far.
Well, I was figuring just treat it like hiking.
Yeah.
Bring a little bit with you.
Yeah.
Yes, you should definitely pack snacks.
We always do that for breakfast. I never go anywhere for breakfast anymore.
And I usually just subsist off. I'll usually have like a big dinner because we'll go somewhere and hang out with.
Because usually if we meet for food, it's like an actual social thing.
We're hanging out with other RPG industry folk, and they will usually go out. But like otherwise, it's usually a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in my room. That is for.
I know a lot of the fans. A lot of the fans, we like to go to RAM. We'll actually we get like 10 of us, and we'll scout it out. We'll have someone standing there beforehand to be first in line.
Yeah, but if you don't have that, it's
if you don't have that,
hour wait. Yeah,
The quickest things I've actually found.
con food.
Yeah.
The con chicken tenders.
Yeah.
You can actually pump those out.
I was just going to say that's literally what I was going to say is that the fastest food that is not like from a vending machine or from whatever you brought will be the chicken tenders or something like that.
And it's overpriced, but not as gouged as it could.
It's like
be.
$10.
Yeah.
It's not mini bar prices.
Yeah. Food is fuel.
And $10 for a full meal, so yeah.
Unless you're just on full blown vacation mode and drifting around, you don't have tickets to anything.
That's kind of the way I usually am.
No.
But if you have places to be, like,
no,
food is fuel. Like,
it's
there's a lot of tournaments too. That's another thing. So like,
if you buy tickets, show up on time.
Yeah.
Don't leave things waiting.
Wednesday's a good day to scout out where all your games will be. It'll be a hell of a walk, but it'll be a lot easier, especially if you have a short travel time between. And I know you're like, one game, another kind of thing. Here's the thing: every time I run a game at a con, there's 3 to 4 people waiting to see if someone doesn't show up. Mm-hmm. And you've put me in a real damn awkward situation when like the time to start the game passes, they all want seats, and I don't know if you're going to walk in 5 minutes late. So there's
be there.
There's no right decision for me to make there. I wait 5 minutes. The person's pissed because you were 5 minutes late. I wait 10 minutes. I wait 15 minutes. That's ridiculous. You're stopping everybody's time. I let the person in. You show up at 16 minutes. You're pissed because you paid for the game. Like, it's just an awful situation. Know where you're going and be there on time if you bought a ticket and said you were going to be there.
Yeah.
And be realistic with your time, too.
Yeah.
Don't schedule a game like it's for 15 minutes after one game ends. Like, I can make it.
I mean, I think you should have targets and not just wander aimlessly, but I also think you should have big blocks of unscheduled time. That's the best way to do it.
Because that's when you're going to want to like go through the dealer room, the exhibit hall,
or
and
check out the
cosplay
anime alley or the cosplay parade, or
we're going to be in the hotel with the
competitive gaming, computer gaming scene, or the BattleTech pods.
I think they moved that actually.
Or Artemis, or.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Spaceship Artemis is there. It's more advances here. Undoubtedly have more stuff there, too. So, I mean, John, anything in particular really in terms of nerdy tabletop gaming things to do in general? Like, what I mean,
this is like the too many options.
Sure.
Oh, crap.
No. The first year we went, we were totally overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. Honestly, my biggest plan was occasionally just tag along with somebody who knows what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And
well, one thing you could do, like one thing that I found is Gen Con's great for trying out games you never get to try out otherwise.
That's part of the thing. Actually,
and cons in general.
I was actually kind of looking at seeing. I was kind of scouting out people running Cyberpunk 2020 actually because
you should definitely do that.
I haven't played it since the actual early 90s. Okay,
and undoubtedly they have games of it.
Right. So,
Yeah, you can go to Games on Demand.
Right.
That's it. That's the name I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
there's also a playtest space now. I can't remember what that's called.
First exposure.
Yeah, first exposure.
Yeah.
You can do the playtest space and try games that aren't out yet.
Yeah.
that's actually a thing that I might be interested in that because
Yeah.
why not?
You should definitely try that out because game designers essentially pay like a couple $100 to have a space set up, and then like they get promoted. Like, hey, this is this game that's being tried out. This is this game.
We could find some new things for later.
It's like
Yeah.
it's a much more contained Metatopia kind of vibe.
Yeah. They're trying a lot of different things. And another thing is also meeting like your favorite game designers because a ton of them are going to be there. Not just us, but actually real designers like Kenneth Hite and Laws and a lot of other people.
Kevin Symbiota occasionally shows up too.
And also actual game designers.
Yeah. No.
Hey.
Yo.
So,
I sure. Yeah. If he's there, the moment we walk up, it's like, you fuckers.
You two can look down the vanishing point hallway of Riff's books. Feel true despair.
I remember a couple years in the last, that they haven't shown up at all. Like, it's really varied. Like, whether
They were there last year.
They were there big. That doesn't mean anything. Though.
I was kind of hoping.
Well, but the thing is, I think they had like 1 or 2 new books from the year before.
It was all about Robotech minis last year.
And also selling prints of all their art for like $50 to $100 a piece.
Right.
I was just kind of hoping that the designer for Immortal would show up so I could just ask him what the fuck.
Whisper balls. Yes. Listen to our After Hours podcast
And
to learn about whisper balls.
and then get my ass kicked. So,
I know that I have games I bought last year that I haven't had a chance to crack open yet,
Yeah.
not to mention play. So while I'm undoubtedly not going to be able to resist buying new RPG books, I'm going to try and focus more on board and card games. And if and if that's your thing, you kind of need to have a buying plan as well, because like if you want some new Fantasy Flight stuff, that shit's going to sell out. Like, you don't get to plan when you're going to buy that. If it's available, you get it. Or some of the more publishers that can't contain. Yeah. So like you need to prioritize like stuff that you need to get day one that the dealer hall opens, or else they're not going to have it. And then stuff you can come back for, stuff you can buy cheap on Sunday. And then it's another thing about walking around. Like, you're going to walk around a lot, so you're going to exhaust yourself if you load yourself down with materials. But also, if your backpack sticks about 3 feet behind you, you're also like
that guy.
That guy. So
you're a piece of cholesterol in the artery at that
so you need to plan accordingly, like in terms of like, I'm gonna get this stuff and then make a trip back to the room.
Yeah.
But you can't really make those plans for stuff that's like, oh my god,
Yeah.
I stood in line for 3 hours to get this.
Yeah,
They're gonna
usually,
sell out. I have to buy it now.
Usually your room is the place where you sleep and where you drop off your ill-gotten gains.
So yeah, when I bought the complete set of Designers and Dragons books, because I really wanted those, like it's like a encyclopedia bookshelf. I'm like, all right, that's going to be a pain in the ass to cover around. I'm going to load up like a pack mule and Uber back to the hotel, so I'm not dragging this 50-pound bag of books.
Yeah, there is a bit of logistics.
Yeah.
So one thing, keep in mind, this is where all the big new releases are put out and made available to the public for the first time. So there's also limited edition stuff occasionally. So Fantasy Flights, the Fantasy Flight games, they always get huge lines wrapping around their booth. So you have to
multiple times.
Yeah, multiple times. So you have to wait hours just for the chance to spend hundreds.
Paizo is the same way.
Paizo, not as bad in recent years as from my cursory glances. I have no idea if that's
it depends on what they're dropping, because God knows I'm not waiting to go in there.
Yeah.
I usually go into Paizo like on Saturday.
But I really want to copy a Scythe. That looks really big. I want to try Pandemic Legacy, and if I'm going to try it, I want to try Pandemic Legacy Cthulhu. So that will drop. And then Mice and Mystics has a new game where the little mice dogfight on pigeons, which is just adorable. God damn it! It's its own separate game. So I desperately want that, because we're like halfway through Heart of Glorm with my board game group, and I think we're going to make it through the whole thing, like Downward Tales, everything. I want to get that. So I have those as first thing I can get those.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get them because they're going to probably sell out. But everything else you need to plan is all right, it's dealer hall's about to close. I've got 2 hours before I got a thing tonight. This is when I load up like a mule and drag the shit back to the hotel, so I'm not walking around with it all day and making it hard to move.
Carry it back and, like, as a minor with, like, while you're humming 16 tons.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're really lucky in that we have hotels within walking distance. So this is even more complicated if you have to Uber back and forth.
The hotel we were at last year, that was kind of a walk.
Yeah.
You couldn't just quickly drop off your stuff there.
That's why
And once I discovered Uber, it was no longer a walk.
Yeah.
Because it sucked. And so I joined the exploitive practices of cloud distributed taxi services.
This is kind of a dumb question, but how many of the booths will actually be cash only?
None.
In recent years, I haven't met one yet.
I'm just wondering.
There is one booth. I forgot who they are.
If you have exact
it's
change.
a game store. Yeah, that's one. I think it's Chaosium, but I'm not 100% sure. Where if you have exact change, they yell out
Exact change!
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Because they like cash, but they all have square readers. They all have things now. So
And now with the point system, I mean, hardly anybody's going to be small enough to not accept cash.
The thing is, though, because there's so many people there, expect like cell phone stuff to not work as well. So you might not have your credit card declined simply because they can't get the reader through. Especially now with Pokemon Go, like all the cellular networks.
Another reason to turn that shit off.
There we go.
I'm not against Pokemon Go at all, but you are going to cause a fucking soccer riot pile up if you're. Turn it off. We don't have the data to spare.
It's going to change.
You're out walking around anyway.
What an exciting time!
Yeah.
So cash actually is probably a good idea to have some on hand.
Definitely
always
because every place should accept credit cards, but it's just, like it's time too, and certainly they're going to appreciate it more than.
Okay.
But you are traveling,
and you want to
don't carry too much cash.
Right, yeah, obviously.
And, you want to also have some cash just to tip people. Because, the valets and the maids and everyone else who's working their asses off for you, they deserve a little extra. Gen Con right now has a really good rep among the workers of Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah, they love the
because apparently nerds tip a hell of a lot better.
And are nicer.
And are nicer than the other conference goers that go there. Like the people who sell, I forgot the name of it, but there's like people who sell stuff to churches, and like gospel leaders were like
weird. I never would have imagined that.
Because apparently, I've heard from some servers that they actually tend to stiff
that comment brought to you by sarcasm.
I wasn't aware.
I talked to some servers in Indianapolis. They say they stiff them.
Yeah.
They're rude.
Yeah, but we're just so happy to be outside, and people are not
with other people that are like us.
Yeah, exactly. I can wear my utility kilt in public without getting odd looks or calls from the police. So
I've actually seen dude bros at one point make fun of people at Gen Con.
Yeah.
And then quickly back away and kind of because there's just too goddamn many. It's just nerds and their cosplay, and then everyone on the sidewalk just turns to look at them Black Mirror style, and they're just no, I'm just going to eat my.
I wish I could just.
The moment they're alone, it's like. Good God, I didn't think they existed. Not that many.
So is that this when they expect to hear the "We Are Legion" chant?
Yeah. Or just do the Invasion of the Body Snatchers screech.
Yeah.
Ladies, protect yourselves. It is a giant con, and there are poorly socialized geeks there.
Yeah.
So the general cosplay concerns are always there, but there are just some creepy dudes.
Well,
I'm pretty sure Gen Con does have a good harassment policy.
They do have a good harassment policy, but protect yourself.
Well, and also watch your wallet. Too. Aaron's gotten robbed there once.
Really?
Okay.
Robbed or just
pickpocketed?
Mug?
Probably pickpocketed.
Pickpocket or mug.
So keep track of your stuff at all times.
Yeah. So just be socially aware, especially when you're on the streets in between places. The con is pretty well policed. There's people all over.
And I will actually say, Indianapolis, the traffic is usually really good with pedestrian traffic.
But I've walked on sidewalks with some creepy folks and then pretended to check my phone,
especially late at night.
Way ahead.
Yeah. Especially late at night, there will be quite a few drunk people, both con-goers and non-con-goers.
Lots of panhandlers, too.
Lots of panhandlers. They know that we're here, or that we will be there. So that is... I know we've talked about stories about meeting weird people at the parking lots of White Castle and stuff like that last year. Sam, our RPPR listener, had some weird encounters along back and forth from the hotel. I can't remember the details of them.
Well, David does too, because he's the one person that walks to the White Castle in downtown,
right?
Which has to go through like apparently a sketchy neighborhood.
There's a lot of stuff going on after hours too, like parties.
Open gaming room.
That's where we'll be there most evenings.
There's a dance on Saturday night. I think it's a costume, not optional.
There are many good restaurants like 6-7 blocks away that aren't like super crowded.
Yeah.
So that's another thing.
And it'll be interesting to see if that biker rally is there again.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's fine except at late at night when you're trying to sleep, and then you hear the smooth, dulcet tones of like 6,000 motorcycles down the street.
That's nothing new for me.
That's why I have earplugs and a sleep mask. That's and LPM.
Yes, drug yourself after cutting off all senses is the best way to sleep.
Sleep
because you're likely in a room with 4 or 5 other.
Depending on your arrangements. Yeah. So
unless you're the one person that arranged a suite by yourself.
Yeah.
In which case, screw you.
If you have a suite, you should have 12 people in it.
I feel. Are there any things concerns you have or questions?
I've gone over a few of them, like the whole cash issue, and obviously, yes, protect your cash, don't keep it in the obvious spot.
Just keep your.
It's just like standard, rules for anything.
It's just for traveling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have bottled water.
That's another thing I was thinking about getting a better water bottle.
You can refill it. There's tons of water fountains, so just refill it.
I think they're actually putting some of those ones that actually have a place for refilling bottles.
Okay.
Cool. Honestly, again, a lot of it's just going back to the first point, wandering around like a lost child.
One thing you could do is they have the schedules printed, and these thick catalog things. Not
it's
quite
every event.
Every thousands of events.
Pick one up and
pick one up. They're free, but you might just pick one up and rip out. They have at the beginning of the book a map of the area. Like here's the convention center. Here's this hotel. Here are the ones connected by skywalks. I've seen one thing is people will rip that page out and put it in their little badge lanyard. Or holder, badge holder, and so they can just because you always have to wear your, badge, and so they can always look up and see where you are. So if you don't have your phone's dead, or you don't want to use GPS for data, or you can't even get through because of the fucking Pokemon Go place.
Yeah, I usually use my phone for scheduling events and trying to remember where places are, and then I'll rip out one of those maps and just put like X's.
Yeah.
So I know places I'm going to go. And so, the little map pages are pretty priceless.
And that reminds me, I probably need to get one of those external batteries. So,
an external battery of your phone is great.
Yeah, and a USB charger. But both. Portable charger.
Yeah, because your phone will die. You will be out wandering for 12 to 13 hours. It's not going to last that long.
Yeah.
Kind of figured on that. See, I'm just kind of going over in my head, like, because I'm probably.
What are you looking forward to, Jim? Because you're new. I want to see it from my non-jaundiced and jaded eyes.
Too many fucking options. Yeah. Part of it, just. All right. One thing is, the RPPR meetup is going to. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be kind of cool, I think. But also, just try. I wanted to actually try some new games. I wanted to see what's coming out because I'm not an industry. I'm not an industry insider, so this would be my other window to this, and I wanted to try out a few different things. Dealer room. I was actually going to look at a lot of the old used stuff.
Oh yeah,
there's lots of that.
There's a lot of that
because we used to have some great old used RPG stuff here in Springfield, and that apparently dried up. I don't know.
Boneheads is gone. Metagames really cut back on their used game stuff, and that's really pretty much it.
You can still find.
There's half-price books.
There's Hooked on Books.
Yeah, Hooked on Books.
Has got some decent stuff, but So I wanted to dig through, paw through and do some archaeology, pretty much.
Yeah. There are some places that sell, and the booth. The who's in the dealer room changes a little bit every year. There are some that sell them like pricers, really collectible stuff, but then there's the ones that just have like buy 3 get 5 free or something like that.
Wow.
So and of course the bulk of these are like the prime D20 shovelware era books. The D20 guide to elven thongs, or
I'd buy that for $1.
or orc dentures. D20 guide to orc dentures.
I was just going to say orc strippers, but a lot of that's probably not going to be worth it, or it might be
it's
hilarious.
Worth it. Yeah, exactly.
Because you'll find some diamonds in the shit.
I mean, so part of my thing was I wanted to go through the dealer's room, see if I can find some really anything that's actually cool or things that are just holy crap that got published. For future material.
Sure.
Also, again, do a few games that I have not had a chance
Talk
to
to Glancy because that's always good.
Oh yeah, yeah. Again, meeting your favorite.
I need to meet
designers.
Glancy.
Yeah.
Just talking to him, it's good for your mind. It is.
But definitely, I've wanted to do BattleTech pods of some sort since the early '90s.
Yeah.
They've been around for that long, and it's like been a personal thing for me.
No,
so this is the opportunity. I'm going to do it. David and I are going to be in a LARP, actually.
Oh really?
Yes, we've actually sat down well ahead of schedule and said we need to just come up with something real quick because why not? And we're going to be in Beach Blanket Gyaki. I'm debating
awesome.
what to do for my outfit for that, but I was thinking kind of doing a greaser thing. But
Okay.
I don't know.
I dig that. What day is that?
I don't remember.
Okay.
David's got the
Is it
Yeah,
like
well, if it's the normal LARP, usually Saturday nights is LARP night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I had to go.
That's awesome. I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be an experience.
If you can take some photos, if they let you take photos,
If they do, I definitely will. I'll
Yeah.
just find a way
and
to
have
do
David
it.
take photos too. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of games that I'd love to try out, and I never get around to do it because it's like, oh, I'm blah blah blah, promote the podcast, panel, do this,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
So again, that's why I didn't sign up to do any of the GMing things because I know that would be.
Because I hear about the great games afterwards, I'm like, oh damn, I wish I'd been there. But
I think next year, since I can't go to Gen Con, Sarah and I are going to try and go to Origins. And just be people at Origins.
I might go.
Cool.
I might go to Origins too.
I definitely want to do Metatopia next
Yeah.
year. But I think we might try Origins just to
Origins
try
is like
it
the
out.
second big tabletop
I
game.
mean, I've heard.
It's in Ohio. It's in the middle of summer. It was actually earlier this month, I think.
It's usually in July.
Yeah, it's usually in July, and a lot of people go. It's like 10,000, something like that.
Cool.
So it's a decent
drive.
size. I'd probably fly if I was going to do that. I'm not going to drive that
But
far.
yeah, so I think my biggest thing will
Unless
be
you guys
to-
are driving, those guys, hey,
I'm just planning to be awed by the grandeur of it all. But
Yeah.
That's exactly the first. It was this. By the way, I think we went. Wait, we first went in 06, didn't we?
07, I think.
Was it?
Yeah.
Because I think Aaron went the year after us, and he thinks his was the first was 07.
Well, no, it was 2007 because that's when we started the podcast. There's actually timestamp to that, Tom. We actually keep dates.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
Ross!
it actually says, like WordPress will actually save the date in which you post something, and you can go back and look at it.
Shut up.
By the way, what is your favorite purchase at Gen Con? Like, is you find at Gen Con?
Actually, I think it was one that you actually got me.
Oh, okay.
It was the old AD&D module for the Keep.
The movie The Keep.
Oh wow!
Which
Yeah.
has Nazis in it. But
Well, yeah,
I've seen the movie.
Well, yeah, it's actually the first. It's 3 missions. The first one is in the standard D&D Mythic Age.
Yeah.
The second is in the reign of Vlad the Tepish III,
yeah.
and then the third one is 1942.
Yeah.
And yes, in D&D they had to give rules.
No, I know you love that movie, so I
For the
saw that
William
and I'm like,
Q
yeah,
thing?
that's Tom. Yeah. My favorite find is I actually got Temple of the Frog God, which is one of the very early D&D adventures, and David Arneson, co-creator of D&D, was there. That was actually the last year he attended.
Awesome.
And I had him sign it, so
Cool.
I was, yeah. So that's my favorite.
Yeah, and honestly, I think my favorite part is the artist alley.
Yeah.
I love just walking around there.
Well, Caleb, what was your favorite? Do you have a favorite find at Gen Con?
My dad was pretty thrilled with the Delta Green shooting targets.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Shaped like Miko and zombies and stuff. So he was pretty thrilled. I found that.
Yeah.
I do not go through the stacks at Gen Con. I'm pretty.
I can't help it.
I'm pretty clearly there for the new hotness. I want whatever's fresh and out, or I can't find
Yeah.
at home. So.
I always buy the new Mutants and Mastermind stuff,
Yeah.
even though I'm probably not going to run it, but I kind of like collecting it.
Sure. I mean, that's a lot of people do that for role-playing games, and there's nothing wrong with that. We salute you because you're probably like a good portion of our customer base.
Yes.
And Ross, you were going to have copies of Base Raiders there?
Yeah, Arc Dream will have copies of Base Raiders, Boiling Point, and the new book From the Underground. Buy it. It'll have stats for Sparkles, the unicorn.
Indeed.
And Caleb's Death Traps. He wrote
Yes.
Death Traps. for us,
Yes.
So
Greedy Gas is awesome.
yeah, Greedy Gas is awesome.
I
I need to put that in the campaign that I'm running. So
Greedy gas,
yeah.
Fucking gritty gas.
This, like I said, this is going to be a shorter one. Don't forget the GroupMe app. please sign up for that if you want to be coordinate with the rest of the RPPR fan base, because it's not just us, the people who are part of the pod of the cast, but also other RPPR fans and listeners. And there's other podcasters going who are part of that too, like the Drunken Ugly people are going to be there. Some technical difficulties people are going to be there. If you've been listening to their Red Markets campaign.
Good place to network.
Good place to network, good people to find out. If you have questions about our podcasting, then please, we're happy to answer them, and hunt us down for autographs. We can illegibly scrawl weird things in your books and deface them, enhance their value. Sorry. Okay, to be fair, one thing I try to do with Base Raiders books is come up like aspect, blah, 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 and then sign it, and it's really hard coming up with aspects, especially if it's somebody I haven't met. If it's somebody at the con, I'd be like, that jerk at Gen Con, yeah, aspect.
Greg Stolze is the best I've ever seen at coming up with weird shit to put next to his autograph.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, I'm a total fanboy, so I get him to sign like my boobs and pretty much everything I'm carrying. He's got something different every time. It's pretty good.
I remember actually the second year I went to Gen Con, I brought my copy of Delta Green, and I had Adam Scott. Or no, I think it was the first year, and I had Adam Scott Glancy sign it. And this was the year I played in the first World War I Call of Cthulhu scenario.
That's the airship, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Zeppelin one. And my character fell to his death, and he was like, "Oh, and it's a long way down." And
nothing really killed you.
Yeah, the gravity killed me.
Well, gravity killed you.
Like that falling from a Zeppelin is pretty fucking fake.
The monster did not kill you.
No, well, there are other ways to die in Call of Cthulhu. In fact, it's pretty much everything can kill you in Call of Cthulhu. So yeah. That's cool. A lot to look forward to. Any final thoughts?
And of course, we'll have our Glancy game.
Yeah,
I'm actually gonna have two. I'm gonna have two.
Hopefully, we will be recording that, and we'll have a new World War I Call of Cthulhu scenario to post on the podcast after we get back from Gen Con, obviously.
And I'll actually be taking part in two games.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because I was part of the Delta Green Kickstarter.
Was it Delta Green or Horrors of War?
Horrors of War.
Yeah.
And actually, I signed up for the Gen. I paid now so I can get into the Gen Con, the official Gen Con game.
Yay!
So I'll be doing 2 times.
Woo!
And dying horribly.
Well, one can hope.
I don't know. I know. I'm still hoping it's going to be as awesome as the train, where we're like, no, we're not going to go.
Oh, by the way, a funny note for the one scenario we are going to be doing with Glancy for RPPR is we're going to be wounded in a hospital, apparently. And I got him in touch with Ethan, who ran by the Thunder. I said, hey, Ethan, you have Civil War injuries rules written up for Call of Cthulhu. Do you want to share them with Glancy so he can modify them? Well,
from what Glancy said, that if you could roll the right way, you can be full-blown Johnny got his gun. Like, no arms, no legs, no tongue, no eyes. Just a screaming mummy that the other characters carry around.
He's our mascot.
I am.
What does he contribute?
Nothing. I'm so looking forward to it.
All right. Well, that's a cheerful note to in this episode. So we'll see you guys at Gen Con. And again, please vote for us at the Indie Awards for Best Podcast. So
it helps. It helps.
If we win, hopefully they will play the Vaporwave song that I sent them. So because I am a monster. All right. All right.